I hear gunshots as I crawl behind a boulder. I protect myself, if only I was older. I cry for my mother and wish to hold her. Then I feel a gun pressed against my shoulder. A child soldier. Is there anyone who can save me? I pray to the sky. They'll force me into war and I'll have to comply. Why can't anybody hear me cry? He puts his finger to the trigger. If he pulls it, then I'll die. I froze, even though I wanted to run. My tears dropped down on the barrel of his gun. I feel my consciousness slipping as I stare at the sun. Maybe this was it, and I was done. I grew up with war, dodging bullets each day. I grew up with war that took my loved ones away. I grew up with war with nowhere to stay. I grew up with war. We all grow up that way. I grew up that way. I chase a child as he crawls behind a boulder. I knew that I'd catch him because I was older. He cries for his mother and wants to hold her. Then I put my gun against his shoulder. Now I'm that child soldier. I grew up with mines in the ground, bombs in the sky. I grew up with war and learned to comply. He looked me in the eye and started to cry. I put my finger on the trigger. If I pull it, then he'll die. I look at his tattered clothes, at his face in the sun. I see his fears as his tears hit my gun. That's somebody's brother. That's somebody's son. That's someone like me that just wanted to run. I grew up with war, dodging bullets each day. I grew up with war that took my loved ones away. I grew up with war with nowhere to stay. I grew up with war. But you won't grow up that way. No child deserves to grow up with war. This world can be dark and scary and knock us down to the floor. So if you've been knocked down by others before, then become the hope for others that knocks at their door. We inflict pain to relieve the pain that's been done. But the suffering ends when we rise together as one. Thank you.